And I wouldn't call them Saturn's moons, they're just lights in the sky that hang out with Saturn. They just move around wherever Saturn moves. And they move independently, they sort of move around with their own sort of characteristics. There's no reason to call them moons. Jupiter with some strange northern lights they dished out the other day. Put your hand up if you think that's real. That's real. So what I found in my research, it's quite important to know where the line is between what's fake and what's actually I can prove with my friends. That's real, that's Jupiter. It's a thing in the sky with some little friends that hang out with that. There's nothing there to say it's spherical. There's no evidence on Earth to tell us Jupiter's spherical. If you can come to me and prove to me Jupiter's spherical, I'll give you 10 grand. I don't have it, but I'll find it. What they did the other week, they said this is Jupiter's moon. This is what they did. This is a few weeks ago. This is Scooby-Doo cartoons. They said this is Jupiter from below. This is nonsense. This is a good one. This is real. This is mainstream real stuff. They say it rains diamonds on Neptune. Now don't tell my ex. She's going to go and nick a spaceship. She'll be off there. You are welcome to laugh at the jokes. Okay, the Chinese moon landing, 2013. It was so bad that the media didn't cover it. So bad.
It's supposed to be part of the moon landing.
Do you believe? Yeah. It's funny. They said these three dudes were inside that thing. It's just madness. This is quite funny. They do a lot of these capsules landing in the sea, and apparently they slow down from 10,000 miles an hour to 0 miles an hour with a parachute. And of course, if it's burning, something would burn the parachute. It's only 500 meters away, the parachute from the capsule. The parachute couldn't handle that heat. There's no steam, and there's no burns on the capsule. This is just all smoke and mirrors, a PR stunt. Now, who believes this is real? I do, it's my lunch. A bit earlier. And it's quite interesting that Hubble came out the same year as Photoshop version 1 came out. This is some sort of nebula. Again, there's no evidence to mean that's real. This is my incense stick from meditation last night. This is actually an official NASA image of a rocket taking off. So we also have these images of Antarctica from space. For me, they're cartoons. Is there anyone here that fully believes these are real images from space? Because you've not been to space, you're just relying on an image. It's not enough for a human to put their soul and a belief system into something from an image. We need direct experience to really feel something's real. Washington Post the other week, why NASA's new photos of the moon look super fake, even though they're not. So they're starting to backtrack, they're starting to get worried. You can grab any of these space images, especially the ones from the 70s and 80s before Photoshop came out, and you just play with the levels in Photoshop and you can see this is a sort of tape cut and splice job on in a red room. There's another one. You can see that's just been cropped in there using tape and a scalpel. There's a bit of Photoshop blur going on. This is interesting. You see copy and paste there of the clouds. This is real. This isn't conspiracy. This is where you can go and download the image and zoom in. This isn't my theory. This is real. More copy and paste. If you look at Guatemala, you can see those purple boxes. That's copy and paste, mate. That's not me mucking around. Why would they do that? Now, I personally don't know whether to laugh or CGI. I went to a mate the other day and he said, I'm waiting for a space footage from NASA. I went back there 2 years later and that's the photo of it. That's what was going on. I want someone here to tell me why I'm trying to disprove something that's never been proven. And I'm the idiot here, aren't I? I'm trying to disprove something that's never been proven. This is all these little agencies are all part of it. I mean, not everyone working there, just a very few people at the top. It's a pyramid system. I mean, some people say, I know someone that worked on satellites. Yeah, you probably do. But does that mean he's seen a satellite go to space? No. I did a chat online with the SR project manager for one of their satellites that had a host of errors. And I was chatting to him, he's a nice guy, I gave him respect. And he admitted that he's never been to space, he can't prove space exists. And this is the project manager, he just signs off an engineering project. And it's like there's people are walking around clinging to these spherical things because of NASA. And NASA's a military agency, this is like the FBI. So for me, the only thing that's been to your imagination, the only thing that's been to space is your imagination. What they did after they did the moon and the first space trips, they brought out 3 massive films. 1979-ish, I think. Alien, Star Wars, Space Odyssey. Epic, amazing films. They put all the money into it, all the creative genius. And they really bombarded that whole space thing into our subconscious. I mean, I still think these are great films. And I don't believe in space. With Space Odyssey 2001, it was written by Arthur C. Clarke. He was a very high-up Freemason, and it was his fictitious writing about satellites that came to be satellites. It was a lot of his fictitious writing they used to become fiction for everyone. Very interesting man. He's a great writer. I mean, one of his books I really like. I've forgotten the name off the top of my head. And I think last year's Photoshop on the box, they actually had a picture of an astronaut just putting it in our face. For those of you that know symbolism, the Adobe logo, sort of in that gang. So people are, they're hailing the mighty NASA's Photoshop god. That's what's going on. And on top of this canvas, you've got these scientists, and what they do, they just keep repeating the word science, especially to children, until they believe in monkey people. Now, as I said earlier, a lot of these scientists aren't in on this ball earth lie. They're just, they've got a mortgage, they're getting paid, they've learned, they've got their PhD, and now they're teaching, or now they've got funding for a laboratory. What they know is a on-paper model. They know the ball model, but it works on paper, but it doesn't mean it's real. So you get these scientists and they're just repeating it. I've had this a lot on YouTube, people telling me, well, didn't you go to school? These people are failing to realise a lot of schooling is the actual problem. So there's a lot of indoctrination going on. Magazines, TV, internet, schools. And it makes people think they're like a speck of dust. Because if you believe you're a space monkey, you come from sea bacteria, and you're just here for one life, there's no soul, there's no reincarnation, you're going to jump into capitalism, and you're going to be greedy, and you're going to be selfish, and you're going to have toxic relationships, you're going to control people, you're going to march over people, because there's no divinity, there's no sacredness. Another bit of artwork by this flat earth guy I know. Gravity, relativity, NASA, science. This is what's going into the children. So, I believe the ball's got to go in the bin. So if you want to put it in the bin, hold your hand up, and after 3, I'll do it on my own then. 1, 2, there's a few of you. 1, 2, 3, it's gone in the bin. It's alright.
Somebody's going to say it's a nasty rally though.
So, if we put it in the bin,